Today, our Robyn Weaver is being laid to rest, having been cut down by a heart attack Monday. This, then, is our tribute to Robyn. But how does one speak of a legend? In a whisper? Or does one say, "We loved you," right out loud? The man of mirth and merriment who enjoyed and brought enjoyment to generations of Peoria area folks can best be summed up with one word: love. His love for his work, his love and ability to look at the comedic side of any situation, and, of course, the love his listeners returned by remaining loyal for the almost 32 years that we've manned the morning mic at WIRL.
Generally, I don't talk about which of the media I listen to, but quite frankly, I've been waking up to Robyn Weaver for a long time, and that's a voice I'm going to miss. And I think all of the people in Peoria are going to miss Robyn Weaver.
That was Peoria Mayor Richard Carver, and he is right. The void Robyn left is indeed a huge one. His career began with a whimper and ended with thunderous laughs, such as when he would, on the flick of a whim, burst into song.
Hop, hop, little toad, hop, 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 little toad, hop, 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 little toad, hop, 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 little toad, oh, hop, 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 little toad.
His creations included the Chinese philosopher, One Long Bun, sponsors such as Canarples, his sidekick, Hoagie Fadang, a brew called Bird's Nest Tea, and God bless the poor sports fan tuning in for the first time to catch the ball scores and hear Weaver say, "In a Lollapalooza, it was Lolla 4, Palooza nothing. In a Nip and Tuck affair, it was Nip 2, Tuck 1. Or one could see the eyebrows of his listeners look slowly up from their morning coffee toward the radio, not quite believing their ears, when Robyn would come out of nowhere with his fake commercials.
Don't let old man Winter get his icy grip on your throat.
Carry a package of Barney Google Gargle Gum with you at all times.
There's a smart man. Barney Google Gargle Gum contains nifwort, a scientific compound of oriental and bicord. Both ingredients soothe the most irritated of throats in minutes.
Barney Google Gargle Gum in stick or paste form. A new meditated gum for those who find it difficult to gargle. In paste form for those who find it hard to chew and gargle.
Barney Google Gargle Gum, 10 cents in the handy zipper pack.
Get Google's Gargle Gum today at all filling stations and Chrysler dealers.
Or Mrs. Housewife would burn the bacon if she strayed toward the radio in order to make heads or tails of this commercial.
It's here now. The all-new, completely new Furbistroid with the Corrector Detronote with the smart modern Penestope styling. It is, without a doubt, the most granulated onyx-nade in history. People from all walks of life, from every corner of the nation, are acclaiming it as the most terrific ribulation ever to hit the American scene of duplex. The ultra-swank design of this postulated Growmaker makes flailing so simple and easy for young and old alike. No need to bortle the staffel when shifting.
And who in the world is Hoagie Fadang? Only the early bird knows.
This guy, Hoagie Fadang, lives in every room at WIRL. He's a mythical character, and he's both good and bad. If there's anything wrong around here, blame it on Hoagie Fadang. If we get an honor, and if there's something exceedingly well done, Hoagie Fadang was the producer. But if it goes haywire, no matter what, Hoagie Fadang is my mythical character. He's always with us.
And may heaven help the person who, newly moved into Peoria, discovered the Early Bird Show and took his rancid recipes as fact and tried them. Some were even published, and one, for stuffed frog lip, goes like this. Start at either end of the frog lip, insert by hand breadcrumbs, powdered raisins, boiled lard, pickled egg yolks, and letters DGKOPWR&T from a can of alphabet soup, along with the juice from 8 large marshmallows. Fasten each end of the frog lip tightly with rubber bands, placing on baking sheet, sprinkle with grated hominy, and bake at 319 degrees for 1 hour and 87 minutes. Stand guard at the front of the oven door, though, for the first half hour with a ping-pong paddle or a fly swatter, as the lip will try to escape from the hot oven. You may have to knock it back inside several times until it learns who is boss. It serves approximately 9,487. Now, that was a typical morning serving of wit from the Early Bird. How did this get started?
Funny, because one morning I said, coffee I've got. I said, I need some cookies. I think I'll whip up some butterscotch cookies. That calls for a pound of butter and a fifth of scotch. And I said, you toss these two ingredients together. And I said, you toss your cookies into a hot oven. I said, believe you never lived until you've tossed your cookies into a hot oven. And that's how I got my start. And then about a week later, a dear lady representing the WCTU wrote me a letter, and she kind of gave me a little wrist slapping for using the word Scotch on the air. Well, of course, me, light-hearted Weaver, I wasn't going to take it lying down. I read the letter in full, and I said, okay, Mrs. So-and-so, I apologize in behalf of the WCTU for using the word Scotch on the air. I mixed them together, butter and Scotch. And I said, I apologize, but I said, I'm going to use, well, let's see, instead of Scotch, I'll use gin. But who ever heard of butter gin cookies?
Well, Robyn came up through the Depression, working for 15 cents an hour. After graduating from high school, our main man took an office job at Century Metal Crafts. As he says, for 6 months he went out of his mind, and he spent more time downstairs in the WMBD studios than he did working upstairs. He entered and lost an announcer contest sponsored by WMBD, but he was hired because of his voice. And he was sent to their farm club, so to speak, at WDZ in Tuscola, where he cut his radio teeth.
I went down to WDZ Tuscola for about 2.5 years, and that was at the time one of the farm stations of WMBD. It was where you could go to get your feet wet. You were a janitor, you were an airman, a newsman, you were practically a salesman, you were everything. You know, you were a head flunky.
Even on a serious interview, Weaver could not keep his wit from bubbling over. He was asked what advice he would give young people wanting to get into radio. What qualifications were needed?
First thing, when you're going to get into radio, you've got to learn the alphabet.
Because
you're going to be using the letter K on one side of the Mississippi and the W on this side, and a lot of those alphabets really hurt, you know, because you can get mixed up by being with so many stations. But you've got to learn the alphabet. That's the basic requisite for being an airman.
And his wit went bouncing along no matter how he felt, no matter what he was doing. Sometimes, though, it almost got him into trouble. And Robyn explains how he had to wrestle the demon wit when a WIRL newsman was reading a story about a labor settlement.
New union contract for some group of fellas. Their new contract entails they get a holiday on their birthday. And I so badly quickly want to open the microphone saying you also get the day off when they bury you.
And so today, Robyn has a day off. But the warm feeling that all's right with the world he's spread far and wide over the WIRL listening area will not be buried. During his career, rain or shine, snow or sleet, the WIRL listener probably sensed that everything was okay and all was right with the world when they came downstairs in the morning, turned on the radio, and as sure as the sun would come up, there was the dependable, happy-go-lucky early bird dishing out their favorite style of information to get them set for the day. How was he able to do that every morning for over 30 years? By his own admission, he never grew up.
Well, my dad used to correct me, grow up, son, grow up. Well, he knew that it was a lost cause because I'm Robyn Weaver, and I look at everything lightheartedly.
Our Robyn was not a complete buffoon. He was vitally interested in the state of the world. In conversations with a man, one could sense he worried about the world's and Peoria's future, but he would never allow his listeners to feel anything but good. And in typical Weaver fashion, he passed over the question of what he thinks of today's disc jockeys this way.
Today's disc jockey, they're talented guys. They're young bucks. But to call me a disc jockey and classify them with the young fellows we have around here today, it's an honor to be classified with them and to be working with them. And the reason I haven't really shown my true age because I'm working with young guys and I just don't want to grow up.
Well, he may have felt he never grew up, but to we who worked with him and to his listeners, he may not only have grown up, but his comedic and personable talents grew to giant size. He was a giant, spawned in what is called old-time radio, when everything was live, the big bands, the dance marathons, the commercials, and the cooking shows.
Well, they started giving recipes. You know, the holiday season is here. We're going to make cinnamon bunnies or whatever it was. See. So this gal, when she gave the recipe, ordinary pace there. She gave the recipe, and then the other gal says, well, Sue, perhaps the ladies didn't get back to the microphone in time with their pencil and paper. Let me give it a little slower. So this gal, she started giving it so slow, and I'd open my microphone, and in a falsetto voice, trying to imitate the other gal's voice, I'd say, 1 spoon of cinnamon. And every time she'd pause, I had about 12 spoons of cinnamon in that recipe, along with the eggs and the lard and the baking soda and the wheat and what have you, all the other ingredients. And about 3 days later, mail came in. Where in the world did you ever get that recipe? 12 tablespoons of cinnamon. Every time she'd pause, I'd open the microphone locally, and pretty soon I got a couple of phone calls, too.
Robyn was serious about humor, and in one serious moment he spoke of his philosophy.
I have tried so hard and diligently to live up to this one guiding golden rule of microphone work. Don't put anybody down. Only you and I have done it each other in a kidding vein, but don't talk down to people. Talk on the level, whether they're lawyers, doctors, fishermen, farmers, school teachers, miners, whatever their profession, dime store clerks, hash slingers, firemen, policemen. Talk on the level. Be right on the level with them. Don't talk down to anybody. Don't ever put yourself on a pedestal, because, boy, if you get the idea that you're Mr. Big, it doesn't take long for somebody to saw it off underneath you.
But one of the nearest things to Robyn's heart was our Operation Santa Claus, where we collect money to buy toys for the less fortunate children who may otherwise wake up Christmas morning with nothing under the tree. Robyn Weaver anchored that show from the very beginning, a 5-hour marathon, which in the early years received only a few dollars. But under his vocal influence, it has become one of Central Illinois' major contributions to happiness during the Yuletide season. And Robyn was as effervescent as champagne when he talked about the project's success.
We actually beg on the air. We really do. We're beggars, but we're doing it for the greatest cause in the world, for our children, our less fortunate children in this area. And then when you can see the beauty that follows Operation Santa Claus tonight, when the ladies of B'nai B'rith come up here, and they too donate their time, and it's a period of love and beauty, that's for sure, when you see them in operation throughout the building, gift wrapping each and every one of these packages.
Well, it's a cliche to say, we'll miss you, Robyn, but it would have been not a cliche, but a shame to have never knew you at all. In any line of endeavor, one's success is measured by management, by listeners. But Weave was also loved and admired by his friendly competitors, his peers, WXCL's morning personality, Don Elliot.
To the whole staff at WIRL, we want to offer our condolences to WXCL and to all the WIRL listeners, because they'll never have another Robyn, and may he rest in peace. He's just, as I mentioned, just a great person.
The morning after Robyn's death, Bob Carlton of WMBD had this to say.
Well, it certainly was a great shock to me, needless to say, and after 40 years, I think it was about 1938, we got together. Been very good friends ever since, and used to look forward to talking to Robyn every morning. Yeah, we got together every morning in spite of being friendly competitors on the phone. Just seems to me maybe the big program director up there needed a good morning guy, and golly, he sure got one. We're going to miss that phone call this morning.
And he was mourned by those who worked with him in Peoria, but have long since departed, such as baseball Cub announcer Jack Brickhouse.
He was a very, very offbeat type, fun character, even when he was a little boy, even when he was a kid. He always had that outlandish, almost irreverent, sometimes impish, puckish sense of humor that later made him a very successful performer. And any time I ever was around Robyn, this is the kind of a feeling I got, that you could feel bad, and if you run into Robyn, he's going to make you feel good before it's all over.
And so Robyn is gone. And Peoria Mayor Richard Carver echoes our sentiments.
It's a voice I'm going to miss, and I think all of the people in Peoria are going to miss Robyn Weaver. How a person could be as jovial and as friendly as he was that early in the morning, I'll never know. But I suspect that he brightened a lot of days that he won't be brightening in the future. And it's a real loss for all of us.
And the early bird explains why he made WIRL his life, why he played out his earthly drama in radio.
When you look back and you see the nice people that you work with and the nice people that you represent out there in Central Illinois, our listening area, you couldn't want any nicer group of people. And they're from all walks of life. They're all races, all colors, all creeds. And that's why I like radio. It's the idea of the unseen audience that you're addressing. And like I said earlier, you're going to be talking to them on their level. Don't ever put anybody down.
And so ends our tribute to Robyn Weaver, or Weave, or the early bird, however you thought of him. We have tried to give you an insight into the man and his mind. We're not ashamed to say we loved him. And now a moment of silence.
Robyn Weaver, WIRL.
Goodbye, Robyn. This is Ira Bitner.